Mus. D.H., born in 1945, living in Hamlet PM, Commune PhD, District CC, HCM City, began feeling unwell in 2017 and went for a medical checkup. After thorough testing, the doctor delivered devastating news. She had cervical cancer and needed to be transferred to the oncology hospital for treatment. After being transferred to the oncology hospital, she began enduring months of suffering. She had no husband or children and had lived alone up to the age of 76. Old and physically weak, not financially well off, and now burdened with this illness requiring long-term treatment at the oncology hospital, her suffering was immense. Anyone who has experienced treatment or cared for patients there understands the misery of this hell on earth. Everywhere were groans of pain from patients, heavy sighs from their relatives, and faces filled with anguish and despair. Everything was overcrowded. Patients filled not only the beds but also lay under them, in corridors, under staircases, and even near restrooms. Those with money already suffered, but the poor suffered even more. Some didn't even have food and had to rely on charity meals and porridge. She spent over 10 million VND, around $400 to hire a caregiver during her hospital stay. Unfortunately, after only a few days, the caregiver took the money and disappeared, leaving her alone in her illness and misery. In the following days, she underwent treatments, surgery followed by radiation, but her condition did not improve. She continued to suffer from pain and exhaustion, her body becoming pale and frail. One day, feeling saddened by old age, illness, and loneliness, she slowly walked to the gate of the oncology hospital and saw us distributing vegetarian meals and giving away books. She asked for one and was given a book titled, Returned by the Hospital, Saved by the Buddha's Dharma. Holding the book, she smiled faintly and thought to herself, even with all the modern equipment and professional doctors here, they couldn't cure me. How could Buddhist teachings possibly heal this illness? She then put the book aside without reading it. After nearly 3 months of painful hospitalization, from January 19 to April 6, 2018, taking medicine, undergoing surgery, and radiation therapy, she spent her days in constant pain and exhaustion. Though some benefactors helped with hospital fees, her condition did not improve. She witnessed many people becoming bankrupt due to surgeries, chemotherapy, and radiation, only to pass away afterward. Among the 24 patients who underwent surgery with her, almost all had died. Some were even relatives of doctors, financially well off and sparing no expense, yet they still could not escape death. Being the most severe case among them, she had no hope left. In despair, she decided to stop treatment, requested discharge, and returned home, praying to her ancestors to allow her to pass away peacefully without pain. After returning home, neighbors came to visit. Seeing her pale, weak, unable to eat, and living alone without care, aside from occasional visits, they felt deep sympathy. After a few days, overwhelmed by sadness and despair with nothing to do, she noticed the book Returned by the Hospital, Saved by the Buddha's Dharma. She picked it up to read out of boredom, without any expectation. Surprisingly, the book was so engaging that she finished it in just a few hours. In the book, she read about many cases, even more critical than hers, who had recovered. The names and addresses were clearly stated, not fabricated stories. This made her reconsider. The methods in the book, mainly chanting the Buddha's name, reciting mantras, and repentance, cost nothing. They only required sincerity and personal effort. At this point, she had nothing left to lose and no other path to consider, so she decided to try. She began chanting the Buddha's name, bowing, and reciting the Great Compassion mantra from the book 3 times a day. Especially, she frequently recited the Rebirth mantra whenever she had free time, as it was short and easy to memorize. Soon, she knew it by heart. The Rebirth mantra is excerpted from the Sutra on the Perfection of Buddha recitation, originally stated as follows: At that time, the Bodhisattva Samantabhadra addressed the Buddha, world-honored one, out of compassion for sentient beings in the Dharma-ending age. When lifespans are short, merit is scarce, defilements increase, and true practitioners are few, I now bestow this Dhrani mantra upon those who recite the Buddha's name. It protects body and mind, uproots karmic obstacles, eliminates afflictions, and enables swift rebirth in the Pure Land. It is called the Dhrani for uprooting all karmic obstacles and attaining rebirth in the Pure Land. He then recited the mantra. Namo Amitabhaya, Tathahataya, Tadyatha, Amtu db Haf, Amta Sambhavi, Amta Vikrante, Gamini Gagana, Kirti Care, Svaha. From then on, except when sleeping, she continuously recited the rebirth mantra throughout the day. Remarkably, her health gradually improved. She regained her appetite and could eat normally again. After about a week, she felt completely healthy. She was even able to go to the river, collect water hyacinths, and transport them home by bicycle, astonishing her neighbors. Not long after, she even bought sand and cement to build small structures. At first, she considered hiring workers, but seeing her regained strength, she did it herself. Since delivery trucks could only unload materials at the front yard and she didn't want to ask for help, she worked slowly on her own, shoveling sand and dragging 50-kilogram cement bags to the back of the house. It was truly unbelievable. A woman in her 70s with cancer, who had recently been preparing for her funeral, now so strong and active. Using the phone number printed in the book, she called me to share her miraculous recovery. I was truly astonished. I had known many cases of recovery through Buddhist practice, but such a rapid and strong recovery as Ms. DH's was something I had never witnessed before. We later visited her home and documented her real-life story, adding it to the latest edition of the book. We hope that those who encounter this story will gain faith and motivation to return to and follow the Buddha's teachings, thereby attaining profound benefits for this life and for countless lives to come.